Hello, Wonder Child. Are you ready for bedtime? Great! Then let me tell you a story about Pota Carl, the little hippo, and how he wanted to get to the moon. Once upon a time, there was a little hippo boy. He lived in the zoo with Mommy Hippo and Daddy Hippo, and his name was Pota Carl. He was very, very curious and already went to Animal Kids school. Sadly, he was trapped like all the animals in the zoo. But Pota Carl was smart. He always watched the zookeeper closely to see how he locked the enclosure. When all the people left the zoo in the evening and the zookeeper went home, Pota Carl would quietly try to push the latch on the gate with his nose until it sprang open. Pota Carl was happy and walked very slowly and quietly through the zoo to the exit. Then he got on a tram, and today he wanted to find out how to get to the moon. He knew there was a building with a big telescope on top that could see the moon up close. So he decided to go there and ask how best to get to the moon. He took the tram to the Planetarium stop. He got off and walked to the building with the big dome and the large tube sticking out on top, which was pointing already towards the moon. He went in, passed the ticket counter, and went up to where the big tube was mounted on the roof. He saw someone working there and said, "Hello." And the man said, "Hello. What's a little hippo like you doing here?" "I am Pota Carl," said the little hippo. "I'd like to know how to get to the moon." The man laughed and said, "Oh, that's difficult. I can't help you get to the moon, but I can show it to you." "Really?" said Pota Carl. "How? Where?" And the man said, "Come with me. I have a big telescope here, and if you look through it, you will see the moon up close." Oh, Pota Carl was excited, and he followed the man to the end of the big tube on the roof. There was a small hole to look through, and the man said, "Look here, little hippo, look inside, and you'll see the moon much bigger." Pota Carl looked in and saw a big, bright ball with lots of holes. Said Carl. "The ball has many holes." The man laughed again and said, "Yes, that's what the moon looks like. Those are called craters because many big rocks in the space crash into it. Each time they do, they create a big hole, and that's why the moon looks speckled. With the naked eye, you can't see that. But if you look through our big telescope, you can see it very clearly." "Can I look again?" said Pota Carl. "Yes, of course. Look again." And Pota Carl looked in again and saw the moon shining and was happy. Then he asked the man, "And how do I get there?" The man laughed and said, "Oh, little hippo, you will have to ask someone who built rockets, because we can't fly there. We can only look at the moon." Pota Carl remembered that and said, "Goodbye and thank you." And he ran back to the tram, went back to the zoo, snuck back into his enclosure, closed the door, lay down on his comfy straw bed, and fell asleep, dreaming of a big, round, bright moon with lots of holes on it. The next day he rubbed his eyes and wasn't really sure. Did I dream all that, or was it real? But it must have been true. Little Pota Carl had seen the moon up close through the big telescope and told the other animal kids about it. The teacher asked, "How do you know so much about the moon?" Pota Carl just said, "Well, I saw the moon up close through a big telescope." And all the other animal children admired Carl for being so smart and brave. And that was the story of Pota Carl and the moon today. Now, sleep tight Wonder Child. Tomorrow there will be a new story. Good night.